سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى بعد أن أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد. I start off by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and thanking Him for allowing us to be here on the best day of the week in the best possible place that we can be, the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I wanted to start off by reciting two verses from Surah Al-Fatih. And at the end is a phrase that is quite common that many people say, but the two verses before it kind of give it a flavor. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ألم تر أن الله أنزل من السماء ماء فأخرجنا به ثمرات مختلفا ألوانها ومن الجبال جدد بيض وحمر مختلف ألوانها وغرابيب سود ومن الناس والدواب والأنعام مختلف ألوانه كذلك إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء إن الله عزيز غفور. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do you not see that the rain comes down from the heavens? And from that rain comes different plants and fruits, right? And they're all mukhtalifan alwanuha. They're all different colors and diversity and sizes and all these differences, right? وَمِنَ الْجِبَالِ جُدَدٌ. So, and even with the mountains, there are different makeups of the mountains, different style rocks. Here's limestone, there's granite, it's different style rocks, right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ وَالدَّوَابِ. And from the people and from the animals and from your cattle, all of them are different and differences and different backgrounds and different things all over. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاءِ. Indeed, the people who have the most awe of Allah are the ones with knowledge. Now usually this is the A to B kind of association here. The easy association is the one who has the most religious knowledge, the one who memorizes the most Quran, the one that has this. Of course they're going to have the most realization of who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. But the whole two ayahs before it is talking about nature. It's talking about the differences in geology. It's talking about the differences in zoology. It's talking about the differences in geography. It's talking about the differences in plants. That's the knowledge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was talking about, right? And so, this knowledge, this idea of knowledge is what I'm really kind of was looking at, especially after last week's wonderful khutbah by my teacher, Imam Shahid, really looking at knowledge. But going a little bit, a step further than that, about what just knowledge, is that the need for fikr, for aql, for tafkir, for thinking, for pondering, for understanding. That's an essential part of knowledge right there too, right? That's the essential part. And so, looking at the hal of the Muslimin, looking at the surrounding of the Muslimin, there's a twofold incapacity. What I mean by that is that there's a hole. And that hole is really surrounded by, number one, a lack of what I call Islamic scholarship. And I don't mean memorizing fatwa left and right, so you can tell me the fatwa of anything, right? That's not really what I mean. It's the fikr, the aql, يَقَوْمِ يَعْقِلُونَ يَقَوْمِ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, these are all ayat in the world for people who think, for people who ponder, for people who take the time to really work their mind. And from that comes a lack of understanding of our context, of our American context. Because the quality of any what we call a fatwa, right, is that, yes, you have to have the understanding of the Islamic principles, but it requires an understanding of a context, a specific time, a specific place, a specific culture. All of that plays into what we think of when we're talking about these things. And so when you don't have the Islamic scholarship, you don't have the understanding of what our context is, there's this hole, what I call an intellectual vacuum. And in that hole, that vacuum allows this kind of, what I call it, ignorance, to just take things whatever direction they want. So really I've seen two directions go from this, right? This intellectual vacuum has resulted in kind of two directions. Number one is what I'll call a quote-unquote progressive Islam, where we leave the principles behind and we kind of go full-on assimilate, submit to the modernity and just say, yeah, I'm yours, just tell me what to do, please. The other direction that this has gone off in is what I'll call regressive Islam. In our bid to find a solution to a problem that we see, we focus so much on narrowness. What is the one solution to fix the problem? We've made narrowness synonymous with piety. We've lost all respect for diversity of opinion. We've lost all respect for mercy, for letting things go. We all have this suit of one, just the worst opinion of others. It's this narrowness that's come out of it, what I call regressive Islam. And because we're so focused on those issues, the loss is the heart of Islam from that. And an example that I have is something called hilm, something called mildness, softness. When the scholars are talking about the Quran, they so much focus on this idea that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this hilm that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to get across, right? This ihsan, this kindness in our relationship with others, this focus on the adl, the justice that we have with each other, forbidding of wrongful violence, forbidding of dhulm, abstaining from wrongful passions. We have forbidding of pridefulness and arrogance, helping the poor, being slow to anger, forgiving others. These are all hilm that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pushing in the Quran, right? And we focus so much on issues. Brother, your feet don't touch my feet. I promise you, we all have opinions on that, right? But what we're losing is this focus on the heart of hilm, this mildness, this softness, this thing on the heart. Because I promise you, the way to change the hal of Muslimin, the way that we change the condition of Muslimin that are all around us, is not by... I'm so tired of hearing يا ريت الدولة العثمانية رجعت، يا ريت كان رئيس هذا البلد مسلم، oh my God, if only that our leaders were good Muslims. Change happens here in the heart. It does not happen up there. When we get rid of pridefulness and arrogance and greed and dhulm and oppression and stuff here in the heart, that's when we see change happen. So many times, if we only had a good Muslim leader, if we had people who would work on their hearts, a mankind who would work to get rid of greed and arrogance and violence and want for me to have more than you and take away from you, that's what would change society. That's what would change society. So the focus is on the heart. And then you have the ripple effect where things go on from there, including what we had those stuff. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. To get back to what I was saying earlier, after Western imperialism, right, both tangible and intangible, so I mean by the actual taking over of the society, but also the cultural push that's taken over, right? The Muslimin became scared, fearful. And because of that, we retreated, right? When someone is scared, they go into the fetal position, right? We retreated. But more than just physically, it was intellectually. We became so focused on, hey, what is the one solution to this problem that we had? What is this? That we just focused on narrowness, and that became synonymous with piety. We just wanted to, what's the one answer? Give me the one answer. What's the thing that I can do, the tangible thing that I can do? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very clear on this. We're looking for that piety. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَيْسَ الْبِرُّ أَن تُوَلُّوا وُجُوهَكُمْ قِبْلَ الْمَشْرِقِ وَالْمَغْرِبِ وَلَكِنَّ الْبِرَّ مَنْ آمَنَ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ. Right? وَالصَّابِرِينَ فِي الْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ وَحِينَ الْبَأْسِ أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا. Piety isn't, righteousness isn't, hey, whether you face the east or the west for the Qibla, which direction. It's not, hey, how close was my foot to the other person. These are all parts of it, right? But really, it's this. We became so focused on the tangible parts and on not allowing other people to have difference of opinions and difference of context and these things. Nope, it's just this. It's just that. And what that's given rise to is this thing called tanfir. It's this idea called tanfir. Tanfir is alienation, right? When we so focus on, this is halal, everything else is haram. We focus on this, what rises is this tanfir, where we alienate people and push them away from tawheed. You can't have a diversity of opinions. You either speak Arabic or no, I don't care what you say. Right? You know, su'ul dhann about everybody, the worst of opinions about everyone else, right? I'm not accusing anybody, but this is just it's a thing that's popping up, right? We have an abandonment of this quality that the Prophet ﷺ in his hadith in Bukhari and Muslim. He says, يَسِّرُوا وَلَا تُعَسِّرُوا وَبَشِّرُوا وَلَا تُنَفِّرُوا. Make things easy on one another and do not make it hard on one another. And give glad tidings and do not tanfiru, right? Do not alienate. This is a prophetic mission to bring people together. A prophetic mission. And so you really want to talk about bid'ah, you want to talk about innovation. The biggest innovation I think of our time is this rise of tanfir, this venomous bid'ah of tanfir. We just love to alienate because we're right, you're wrong. That's it, that's what I care about. The prophetic mission is if you participate in this tanfir, of this alienation of our Muslim brothers and sisters and people who are interested in Islam and all those around us, you're undoing the work of the prophets. Their whole idea was to bring people towards Tawheed, and if you're running people away from Tawheed, I don't know what to say. And really, I can already hear what people say in response, right? Hakim, I don't know what you're talking about. Taking that hadith out of context, you become so soft. What is this here? Right? Alright, let's go back. Okay. Imam al-Suyuti, in his Sharia maxims, he talks about the Sharia maxims. What is the point of Sharia? One of his maxims, right? Al-Mashaqqa tajlib al-Taysir. That's one of the goals of the Sharia. That hardship, you have to find and must call for facilitation, a way to get out of that hardship for others. That's one of the goals of Sharia. And look at Imam al-Ghazali in his Ihya al-Ulum. He brings a quote from Ali radiallahu anhu. He says, "Give ease to human hearts, for when they are forced into something, they go blind." You can't force people into going this, right? It's about bringing people together and talking. You want to talk about the Salaf? Let's talk about the Salaf. So many ways that they've been written down where even if they take the strict interpretation of something, they allow the rukhsa, the ease on everyone else. What is the easiest interpretation? Okay, that's okay for everyone. Even if I think that it's the stricter interpretation. That's the way of the early Muslims. So, I'm not calling for the abandonment of principles of Islam, where you just leave it left and right and say, okay, everyone's allowed to do whatever they want kind of thing. But it's more of a call of appreciating diversity, and not just the diversity of color of skin. That's the shallow layer on top of diversity. What's underneath that? Diversity of opinions, diversity of thoughts, of backgrounds that are coming forward, right? If we truly think that diversity is a good thing, If we truly think that, then it's about letting people express their thoughts. It's about letting people, hearing what people have to say, and bringing people together and going forward from that. And this is not a softy Western thing that I'm bringing forward, like, oh, Hakeem, you just learned about diversity in school, you don't want to bring it here. I'm telling you, Aghil radiallahu anhu, the Salaf, Imam Suyuti, this is from him too. I don't know what to tell you. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to ease our hearts and to make this ilm nafi', an ilm that is beneficial for all of us. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا إننا سمعنا مناديا ينادي للإيمان أن آمنوا بربكم فآمنا. ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزد لكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. وأقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر.